Hello friends, it is Happy Hour Friday. Come on in. This is Deb with Art and Grace, and I'm excited to be here. I've got another fun acrylic painting for you. We're finishing the week strong. This is what we did yesterday, so as you pop in, take a look at that for those who were here with us yesterday. I am so excited that y'all are here. I'm so happy that Daniela joined. We've got some new VIP members in the family. Most of them you're used to seeing here on the lives. So it's very exciting though when they make that jump over to the private group where we go a lot deeper and get to know each other, and it's just a lot of fun. We're taking another wood base. This is just a wood substrate. It's a great surface if you're going to do resin and glass. So that's what I'm doing. I'm putting down a multi-purpose sealer by DecoArt for my base. I am going to dry this sealer, and then we'll put one more little coat. Oh, Becca, I couldn't wait to show y'all. It turned out so cute. I haven't even had time to seal the edges, but I love this glass. That is the cutest hobnail glass, but that's what it looks like with all of our resin on it. So this is my second coat of our multi-purpose sealer. This is going to give my wood a nice sealed finish so that my paint just glides on, and the main thing is so that my sealer or my resin doesn't just soak down into the wood, because not only do we not want it to do that, we don't want any bubbles, and that can happen. So getting it nice and sealed. For me, the sides don't matter near as much, but just the top you want to definitely do 2 coats. And I go one way the first time, put it on, and be sure and brush it this way the second time, and then let it dry. Let's see, this is going to be a simple painting. Again, this one will really be simple. So if you're thinking, well, they're not all simple that she says is simple, I promise this one will be. We've got out a brown. Use any colors that you like, or any browns that you like if you're going to do this design. A little bit of black. I'm putting out some other browns just because I have them here to use. But if you don't, you can take whatever brown you have, add a little bit of white, add a little bit of yellow, add to it to make other shades of brown. But see, I've got so many browns that I can just pour out a little and do it that way. All right, I am going to grab an orange to add to this brown. This is my tiger lily. I want some earthy tones, as you can see. So has anybody guessed what we're doing today? You can see all the earthy tones we have. I think I'm going to do my sky first. So we're going to put on just a plain background sky, because most of this is going to get covered up, I expect, by our painting, by our star of the show, a squirrel. I don't know if you can see how nice and smooth this paint goes on now that we've got our sealer down. So that's one of the benefits of putting your sealer, to seal that wood up. But the main one is because I will be doing resin and I don't want it to seep down in there. Now let's go for our ground. So we've got a sky, we're doing ground. I just grabbed brown and a little black on my brush, and we are going to do a solid ground down here for a second, and then we'll do some more things on top of it, but I just want to get a base. No, not a beach. I love doing beaches though. I have on the schedule a really cool beach scene using glass and resin and seashells and all the things. I have some things as giveaways for that project. So I'm excited. I have so many things coming up that I'm so excited about. For now, you can see that that Bahama blue is sneaking in there, but it's okay. Acrylic paint is super easy to work with. You can let it dry and then go right over it, no problem. So I'm going to dry this. I always squeeze out my paint in my paper towel for anybody who's new to this, and that will get a lot of your paint off so that when you put it in the water, it doesn't get as murky as if you just had stuck it in there without doing that. Here's where we're going to give some texture to our dirt. So texture for our dirt, let's do that. I am going to go into my brown with a pouncy brush. This is just like a stencil brush, so load that into there. And then I'm also going to tap into this kind of earth brown. I put some orange with a brown to get an earthy tone, and we're just going to tap, tap, tap on top of what we have. Now, I don't want it to be, you know, a uniform pattern, so that's why you'll see me kind of going all over, pressing more in some spots and less in some spots. So I'm going into this lighter honey brown. Going to tap some of that on. We're just giving our dirt a little more, I mean, I hate to even say realistic, but you know, realistic look by tapping around. This is just a fun, whimsical painting. So this is completely one that I recommend you do with kids or grandkids. So let them help you or let them do one themselves. Of course, they don't have to do it on wood. They could do it on construction paper. I'm sorry about Blue. She is letting me know there's somebody outside. And you notice I'm letting it pop ahead or pop above my line. Totally fine, because remember, this is dirt and you want it to be dirty looking and kind of unkept. You don't want it to be too nice and neat. I'm going to turn it on the sides and do the sides, because I love having a little surprise on the sides. So I like bringing things around to all the sides. Now for our carrots, let's grab a round brush, round or filbert, whichever. I'm going to grab a round and start just designing what it's going to look like. Be sure that's dry. So what I want is about half of it to stick out and the rest to be under the ground. So I want, for mine, I'm going to do my little family. I'm going to do 4, and I'll do, you know, like a Big Daddy. He'll be the biggest carrot. I'm saving room for my top, because that's where that pretty glass is going to come in. So, excuse me, I'm just putting down some white to get my design drawn here. You could, excuse me, I'm sorry, I have allergies and I'm coughing. You could use chalk or my tracer and go over for yours. And then I'm going to put a small one for my daughter. Now, we're all grown, you know, the kids are grown, but I'm just kind of pretending. I saw a lot of people had 4, so I'm doing 4. And I'm going to do a little girl carrot next. So she's little. And since she's just sticking up out of the ground, that's why it looks like it does at the base. Trust the process, right? Then Mama's next. I'm going to do, you know, I don't want to be as big as Ron, although I am. He's losing weight, and I think I'm gaining what he's losing. I may have to make him look bigger. That's a pretty big carrot. And then we'll have the Bubba carrot here. He is tall and thinner, just like in real life. So it'd be really cute to give your little carrots personality. You could, you know, this is hopefully going to inspire you, give you an idea, but you could do so many things with this. You remember I did reindeer at Christmas? I am probably going to make these a little bigger. I'm just going to kind of take a look at what I have here. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. They don't really look like carrots yet, but they will. Now, I'm going to do the painting, okay? So, I'm going to do the painting. If I was not going to show y'all the painting, then I would go and I wouldn't even do the tops because I'm going to be adding glass. I'm going to be adding our carrot tops. The lettuce part or the leafy part is going to be all our pretty glass, okay? So, I could just paint these like carrots and then add the glass. But because I do want to show y'all the painting too, and not just stop there, I will go ahead and paint some lettucey looking things up here. Let me go to a smaller round brush here. I'm going to take our green. This is a dark green, forest green, I believe. This is evergreen, but it's about the same as forest green. And so I'm going to mix a little of this lighter with it and just let those two mix on my brush. And then we're going to do some kind of swirlies, you know, kind of squigglies is a better word. Give the dad and the brother the same hair and give the mom and daughter the same. I know I said hair, that's funny. You know what I mean. Now I'm going to grab our pretty green just by itself and kind of give each one a little bit of that. Let those blend together. This would be a good project if you have kiddos over and you need to get something done. You could just let them paint or color or whatever. Yes, these I did break myself. I like to break it and cut it up when I find a really pretty item like a vase or a glass or something. Okay, for the girls, we'll do the same two colors and make it prettier. Let me think a second. Let's just do something a little kind of like leafy like that. So easy painting, guys. You're letting your brush do the work. And it's just a round brush with the two colors on it. And we're giving the girls a pretty little fancier hairdo. So, oh, thank you, Helen. That's sweet. I just want everybody to know how easy, you know, that you can do it. So don't give up. So many people, so many I've tried to encourage to keep going, because once you get it, and then you just have the most relaxing hobby ever. Okay, there's that. Now I am going to grab a little yellow. Ooh, you know what would be pretty? I take it back. I'm going to grab my lime green. I used this yesterday and loved it. Was it yesterday or day before? Maybe day before. Can't keep track. This is sour apple, and I love using this in spring. Just give some wavies in here. Let it all blend together. For the girls, I'm doing like a little more of a curl than a wave, you know, just kind of making it a little different so that they look a little different than the boys. Doesn't matter, it's just for fun. So when I'm doing these brush strokes, I'm just making them a little neater and just kind of like letting the brush create a little curve. We hear ya, we hear ya. Sorry about the barking, guys. Let's lighten that up and give everything a highlight. By layering your paints, you get a lot more interest. And you see how easy we're just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, just giving little touches on each little piece for little highlights. Okay. Now let's paint those carrots. I'm going to find a filbert brush and trade my palette, go back to the brown palette, and put some of this pretty Tiger Lily. This is a newish color to me. I'm going to put out this other orange. It's a completely different orange. And then we've got our white. So orange is very translucent. We'll see what kind of coverage this has. But I will likely add a little white to it. So let's just play with it and see first. That's excellent coverage for orange. I am trying not to get in that green because I don't want to drag that green in here. So remember, we'll fix all this at the bottom. So don't worry if it looks funny right here. Don't worry. It's better to have a couple of thin coats than to try to put it on thick. So I'm going to leave that there and go to the next. It is literally like spring here in Texas. It feels so good. Sun was shining. Oh, I love this color. This is one that I got with my gift card from a sweet friend in my VIP group. And, you know, it's just when you get a gift card or a gift certificate or just free money, extra money, that's when you can try, you know, you're like, ooh, I've been wanting to try this. And I was so excited to get some new colors, new to me. I don't know if this is new. I think it is new, but I'm not positive. But I love it. Not too worried about the base because I'm going to come in with some dirt to cover over all that We don't want a clean edge. We want some dirt, like broke ground or whatever. Okay, I'm going to dry this real fast. Okay, let's do another layer. And this time I'm still using Tiger Lily, but I'm going to drop down and grab some spiced pumpkin too. Keep it fun. That'll give us a little warmth and some yellowish orange in there. And try not to over blend so that we can see it. So just kind of put it in where you can see it and then let it sit and dry. I'm not going to go over it too many times. Now, if I was doing this for kids or, you know, making a kid's painting out of it, I would make faces, make them have faces. I'm not going to do that for mine, but be cute. Let your kids make their own little faces for them. So if you're in the VIP group, you're going to get the tracer and you can print that out and let them have fun. And I always say that, like, I really encourage you to do that, you know. Even if you just print it and put it in a folder, but then when they come over, go through and find something they can do. I have seen, like, Vonda's got a 6-year-old twins, grandkids, and they are amazing little artists. I love seeing what they do. And they've done a couple of things that I've taught, so it's really, really fun to see them enjoy what y'all enjoy. It gives you kind of a common hobby. Okay. We'll do some highlights in just a second. I'm going to let that sit for a minute and start to dry. I'm going to take my orange and I'm going to get some brown. And we're going to line, oh, did you see that? Oh, I sure did not intend for that to happen. It just dumped out. I'm going to brighten that brown up with orange, give it a rust color, and we're going to give our carrots a little line, little outline. And then I will also come in and give with the same and give them, oh, I need to do my highlights before I do that. So let's just give them the outline, then we'll do our highlights. Just wanting to let them dry just a minute before I do that. Let me know how y'all's week was. It's always nice to make it to Friday. You feel like, okay, well, I made it through the work week. For those of you that are in offices or just the Monday through Friday gig. Okay. So let's do a highlight. You grab that round brush again. Okay, taking that Tiger Lily, taking that pretty orange that we have, the pumpkin, and a little white, and we're going to give some highlights on these carrots. So orange, and then white. I do kind of offload a little just so it's not so crazy when I first put it down. And then you can go back and do, if you need more or want more, it's really a lot personal preference. Now I'm going to come back and do the lines on these little guys. So just this rusty kind of brown color is what I'm doing my little lines on the carrot with, and we'll just kind of come in every so often and put, you know, some little whimsical lines. random placement. They're looking like carrots. I think I will pick up a little bit of this dark green on my brush. Roll it around and give a little bit of shading or some kind of darkness in these leafy areas. And if you wonder what highlights and shading can do, like look at these two on one side. Okay, see those two? And then when you look at these two now, you see it. Sometimes you don't really see the effect of it unless you cover one that you didn't do it on. And then you can decide, oh yes, I like the darkness in there, or needs more of something. So you can walk away and come back, or kind of blur your eyes, take a photo of it, and then just kind of add what you feel like it needs. Now I'm going to take that brush and do some really light orange, I guess. So I was going to say white, but I want to put a little orange with it and make a really light highlight. And just kind of put a few. And do the same thing with the green, and then we'll be done with that. And use that lime green with some white. Okay, there we go. Now, there's your painting if you just want to paint and you don't want to do anything else to it. You could be done. Oh, well, no, we got to do dirt. Never mind. Take that back. You're not done. We're not done. We're going to cover up our dirt a little better. I'm going to find a stubby brush. Let me show you what I mean. Gotta move my iPad. There it is. Okay, this is a stubby brush. That's something that you can really, so it's very similar to a stencil brush. I don't even know what this is called, you guys. I've had it for so long. It's the only one I have. It's a very short, dense brush. But you can use like an old brush. If I don't have any old ones handy because I got rid of them, or I put them in a jar to be really cleaned. But if you have a brush that you don't mind really pouncing and it's not going to make it any worse, maybe you have an old one, those are good to do this with. But let me grab my brown. Can y'all see my palette still? Let me be sure you can see it. Yeah. So grab my brown and load that brown paint up in here. I may need to get more. And then I'm going to just kind of go around this right here, because I don't want it to be, let's just get out our colors again. I don't want it to be straight across. So I'm getting out the 3 colors, or I used a couple and then added some orange to this one. So now we're going to pat some of that in there. We're just going to kind of go around and kind of clean up that little area right there. We can have a little black, just a touch. Thank you, Carol. It's just a fun one, isn't it? Totally fun. So think outside of the box. You could put this on a ACT card. You could make a little card for your family. You know, try to think of what all you could do with it. I always encourage that. Like, don't just see it as it is, but what else could I do with it? You could paint it on a gift bag. You could, well, of course, a canvas, that's a given. You know, you can always do anything we do on another different kind of substrate. But so I'm tapping in a little bit into the carrot. And then just kind of around. Now that's better. Let me show you all that up close. Do resin. Anybody? Let me know. Thank you, Chris. You like it? I'm so glad. You don't have any glass or resin with me. Oh, good, Kay. Oh, that's awesome. That's great. And I like doing, I always tell the ladies in my group that I like giving y'all lots of paintings because everything's not going to be great for everybody. Some people are going to like one thing and some people are going to like a totally different type. So if I offer a lot of different things, then you can pick and choose like you're at the cafeteria. You can take what you like and leave what you don't. Okay, so I know some of you will think, well, why is she covering it up? She just painted it and now she's going to cover it up. So this is like the thing about resin is it's a personal choice. So you don't have to. I always am going to give you a full painting and then you can stop. Or for those who want to go on and do resin, they can. Or they may even choose to do a much simpler painting and then add the glass and resin, you know. So you have options. Because some of this will get covered up. So just know that there's lots of different options. If you were here last night and didn't see me show this, this is what it looks like cured. We added this textured hobnail glass last night and it turned out great. So I have a little bit of that glass to add today. I have lots of glass I need to use. All right, let's mix our resin and then we'll go to the next step. Okay, so if you've not heard me talk about resin, then this will be new for you. But if you have, bear with me because there's always going to be people on here who have never done it before. And I like to try to be as thorough as I can for them. So they at least have that one good lesson. But this is Art Resin brand. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. So if you use half an ounce of one, you're going to use half an ounce of the other. You want it to be as level as humanly possible. So I use a little marker to draw my line on there because it's hard to see the clear line on a clear glass. So that's my practice and it helps. I try to stop right at that line and not go over. And then I will do the same on the next one. When I'm done with this one, I'm going to put the lid on and set it far away back at the back of my desk. And that way if the dog ran in or my phone fell, and then when I came back to this, I would know which one I had already poured. So now I'm going to pour the hardener. You will not have as good a cure if you don't get your two items exact. And I don't mean get out a microscope and get down on the ground. I don't mean exact, but I do mean you do want it to be as accurate as possible. So I'm going to put these two into a larger cup and let them mix together. Christy is my go-to, my right arm, so if she's here, she pretty much will have my time if she's around. But somebody always will do that for me, which is so handy. So thank you, Christy, or whoever ever helps me, because I don't have to even worry about setting any kind of alert or my watch. One of them will time it for me, so I can just focus on this and getting this as exact as possible. So once I get all of this in here, we're going to stir it for 3 minutes. So it's a good time for you guys to ask questions or things like that. You do want to stir it slow and easy. Don't whip it like it's a cake batter, which is my tendency. My tendency is to want to stir fast. But the faster you stir, the more bubbles you'll get. And if you stir too fast, you're going to get micro bubbles that never come out. They're just there. You can't get them out, even with a torch. So I do recommend slow and easy, and just scrape the cup and scrape the stick every so often. Get it back down in there and stir. In case you ever get your... Oh, good. Yes. And I do that. I try to just kind of say the same thing each time, because there's a lot of people who kind of pop in and out, so they may hear a full tutorial, over the course of watching 4 of these. Not everybody sits and watches the whole thing, and I like to really give detailed instructions as much as possible, because it is a fun form of art to do, but you do need to do it correctly. You do need to know what will give you the best result. And again, I'm using the Art Resin brand, so this is what I know well, because I researched a lot of them when I was starting to look into it. And I actually had bought another brand and was using it before I realized how dangerous some of them are. This has hardly any odor. So it has a little bit of an odor, but it's not strong. It has never given me a headache. And Judy, I'm like that too. Like, a lot of different things gives me a headache. So this does not. It's just, it doesn't have any VOCs, BPAs, or COVs, which is abbreviations for the chemicals that would give you a headache. Mary Jo is using a lot of resin, and she says no. Christy also has had breathing issues and some lung issues in the past, and it doesn't bother her. This is a 6 by 12. Yes, Judy, it's open till Saturday night. So yes, I would love to have anybody get in. Once it closes, that's where my focus goes. It's not here on my main page, it's in that group. I've got to really serve them well. So I still do go live here, but the majority of my projects are in there. Yes, okay, thanks, Chris. That's what I thought I said. Super sensitive. Yes, no headaches, good. It's really pretty amazing that I don't have any problem with it. I knew it, Christy. Gosh, it's crazy how good. I mean, it's like I just know she's about to put it. It looks really nice and clear. So when you mix them together, it gets a little cloudy and then it clears up. So 3 minutes of stirring, slow and easy, is perfect. And then you can just I'm going to set this aside. I've got about 40 minutes before it's no longer workable. Yes, Art Resin is the brand. ArtResin, all one word.com. I'm not an affiliate. I wish I was, but they have some big, you have to place a really big order, and I can't do that yet. But I do get mine just right from their website. Sometimes I've bought it on Amazon, but usually just right on their website. They do run specials occasionally, which I love, if I can catch that. I have actual rocks. These are actual pebbles that can be used. Let's just take a look. So you can add some of those. I think I might do a combo. And then I pulled my brown, or beautiful, look at that. It's not really brown, it's like bronze, I guess. Glass, crushed glass. And this is reflective, so it's got a reflective side, and then it's got a plain side. And so I'm just going to dump some of this down here with the pebbles and let all of that play together. Oh, I don't blame anybody at all. I would definitely, rather you guys err on the side of caution, because this is not a necessity. Nobody has to do glass art. So if somebody in your home is super sensitive or has a lung issue, just, if you feel more comfortable not using it, don't. I don't know that I would, even though it is safe. Even though it is safe, I know it's safe. I still don't know that I would if my mom lived here when she was alive. So, there will be a time, right? So, you can there's other ways. You can use clear permanent glues to glue down things if you want it to be 3D. Okay, so let's put that aside. I'm loving that combo. Let me hold this up. I also have these little, these are leaves that I picked, so let me grab these just to show you. Be sure y'all don't say, oh yeah, that's better than the crushed glass, or the cut glass. Let me show y'all those two. So cute. I love this glass. Love hobnail, and that is just so cute. I think I have to have a match. Since the girls match, the boys need a match. That's my thing. We have. Okay, I think I'm settled. I think I like this. So let's add our resin. I am going to take this off. I don't really need to take these off. I can lift them. I'll take them off, I guess. So let me just kind of set them down how I want them here. It is better, in my opinion, to put your resin first. So remember, we've already mixed this up and it's just been sitting there. You can let it sit there for about 30 minutes before it's really time to get to business. You've got about 40 minutes total before it starts really getting thick. And so we just, I don't know, we spent 15 minutes playing around. I'm going to pour this, most of the resin on, reserve just a little bit, and then we'll get this pulled to the edges. Use a silicone spatula. It's like icing a cake. But I don't know if y'all notice how the colors come to life. So look at this down here, the bottom of our painting here, and then look at it with the resin on it. See the difference in the color? It just really, I don't know if y'all can see that on camera, but really brings out all the colors, makes them vibrant. So sometimes I add resin to the painting and no glass. I just want it to be nice and pretty and shiny. Or if I have leftover resin, yesterday I did that daisy. I had leftover resin, so I just poured that resin right over this painting and gave it that nice glass-like finish. So we don't waste it. We put it to use. Now, I only used 1 ounce, which is very little. You can totally use like 1.5 ounces easy on this, or even you could go up more, but you'd have runoff. It'll run down the sides. So you would need to tape the bottom of your surface. Let's put that down. Scrape all that off back into my cup. These silicone spatulas are excellent, whatever ones you get. You can find some at Dollar Tree usually, and of course anywhere, Amazon and everything. But you can just clean them with a paper towel and then clean it again with alcohol when you're done and ready to put it up so that it's good as new the next time you go to do it. Let's turn this on, give it a little pop of the bubbles. And I do babysit these, so I'll come back and check it in about 15 minutes and see if anything has moved. It will not have, because I'm not using that much resin today, so it'll be fine. But sometimes when I do use quite a bit of resin, things can go on the move a little bit. So you'll just take a stick, a toothpick, whatever, and just take a little rock and just pull it back down. So that's what I mean when I say things move. It'll just kind of travel like that. Sometimes if it's little lightweight glass, so you just pull it back down with a stick of some type and you're good. This should not do that. It should be just fine. And then now we can kind of start laying our glass down. As long as your glass is touching the resin well, so we've got a couple of sides that will be in resin with this. As long as you've got, you know, this side down here is touching, some of the side and that tip is touching, as long as you've got enough of it touching like that, it's not going to go anywhere once it's cured. It'll stay just like that, even though some of it is not touching at all. So you'll learn as you go, but it's pretty cool that as long as enough of it is touching, you're good. Let's add these little pieces. We can always add more if we need to, but I think I might add one right there. I don't know. We'll just kind of play with it. Add these. I'm not really sticking to my original where I had them. I love that glass. So pretty. Wish y'all could see it like I do. I think that looks cute. I think I'm going to look for something to go right there. Oh, I don't have very much of this left. Let's see. I could break a piece though. I think that's the only two pieces I have left. Let's see about breaking a little piece to put there, because it kind of does bother me. I want a little something there. Yeah, I just broke another piece using my little nippers. Perfect. That's what I needed. Just something right there. I think we're good. Now, so I told you we had just a little bit of resin left, so let's go ahead and pour that. And then just whatever resin you have left. Now, I already have sanded the edges of all my glass, so there's no sharp edges. But if there were, I would just kind of run the resin over them like so to kind of be sure there aren't. So I'm just kind of adding a little to the bases of these. That art resin brand is self-leveling, so as long as it's on a level surface, so you do need to buy you a little level at the Dollar Tree. They have one for $1.25. That's what I use. And you can just, as long as it's on a level surface, your resin will get to the places it needs to once you've got it the way we do here today. Then just drop down whatever resin you have left. Since it's not very much, we're just putting it here. Every now and then I'll mix up a lot so that I can do another project or something. And it's always nice to do several pieces at the same time. Have them kind of lined up and ready to go. Well, you guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this. Kind of slow. And then here's our little rocks. Hope this inspires you, maybe gives you an idea. All right, guys, have a good night. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.